Welcome back, everyone. Have you ever wondered how complex automation systems work without using a single line of code or a fancy microcontroller? Today, we're going to look closely at exactly how you can design and build a fully functional, industrial-grade, two-way traffic light control system from scratch using nothing but basic digital logic gates and flip-flops inside Proteus. We will break down the entire layout step by step to see how each stage operates and controls the lights automatically. Let's begin at the very heart of the system. Think about it. To make a traffic light cycle through its colors, we need a reliable heartbeat, a sequential timer that never skips a beat. For that, we build a digital binary counter. First, we set up a D flip-flop. To turn it into a toggling mechanism that switches its state back and forth with every single pulse, we take a wire from an inverted output, pin 6, which is Q bar, and loop it right back around into its own data input, pin 2, which is the D pin. Connected to a clock source on pin 3, this single stage gives us our first binary bit, which we call Q0. Next, we expand our timer into a full 2-bit binary counter. Why do we need a second bit? Because a single bit can only count up to 2 states, but a real-world intersection needs 4 distinct time intervals to manage traffic safely without crashes. To achieve this, we introduce a second D flip-flop on the right side. Just like the first one, its Q-bar output loops back into its own D input. To make it count at exactly half the speed of the first one, we route the main Q output from the first stage directly to act as the clock trigger for this second stage. This creates a perfect sequence that counts in binary from 00 to 01 to 10 and finally to 11 before resetting back to start the loop all over again. Now we take our 2 binary state lines, Q0 and Q1, and prepare them for the decoding logic. To build a proper combinational logic circuit, we run our 2 main tracking wires toward a pair of NOT gates. The first line gives us an inverted Q0 signal, and the second line yields an inverted Q1 signal. We now have 4 distinct vertical master buses running down our circuit board, the true and inverted versions of both bits. These lines contain all the timing information we need to determine which traffic light should turn on at any given moment. From here, we begin decoding these timing signals using a bank of 2 input AND gates. Pay close attention to how these gates are wired, because a single wrong connection here will completely ruin the traffic timing sequence. The purpose of these gates is to detect specific binary combinations from our counter. For example, the uppermost gate is hooked up to the inverted Q1 and inverted Q0 buses, so it only outputs a high signal when both counter bits are low. By tapping into different combinations of our vertical buses, each individual AND gate becomes responsible for activating a specific phase of the traffic light cycle. As we progress, we duplicate this decoding structure to create a secondary bank of AND gates running along the bottom. You might be asking yourself, why build the exact same setup twice? Well, remember we are managing a two-way traffic intersection, which means we have 2 completely independent sets of roads to control, Main Street and Side Street. While the upper bank of gates processes the sequence for Main Street, this lower bank simultaneously computes the requirements for Side Street. This ensures that both streets stay perfectly synchronized, preventing dangerous situations where green lights could accidentally overlap. At this stage, we introduce an important protective measure by adding isolation diodes at the output of our logic gates. If you take away nothing else from this video, remember this next point because it is the ultimate troubleshooting secret for digital designers. In complex logic circuits, multiple gates might need to drive the same final output line. If you connect them directly with a bare wire, and one gate tries to output 5 volts while another pulls it to 0 volts. They will short-circuit each other. By placing these diodes in line, we allow electrical current to flow forward toward the displays while completely blocking any reverse current from feeding back, successfully isolating our logic stages and creating a foolproof hardware level or configuration. Now let's look at the grand finale, the fully completed operational simulation diagram with all our displays and resistors connected. On the right side, we have our 3 traffic lights for Main Street consisting of a red, yellow, and green LED, all tied to ground through a resistor. Down at the bottom, we have the indicators for Side Street, featuring another green, yellow, and red LED, also tied to ground through a resistor. When you run this simulation, the circuit operates in a beautifully coordinated loop. At state 00, Main Street is green while Side Street is red. At state 01, Main Street transitions to yellow while Side Street remains red. At state 10, Main Street drops into its red safety phase, and Side Street turns green. Finally, at state 11, Side Street changes to yellow while Main Street holds a solid red. The moment the next clock pulse arrives, the entire system loops back to the beginning. It is a completely automated, reliable two-way traffic controller built entirely out of pure hardware logic gates. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more amazing pure hardware engineering projects just like this one, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Leave your thoughts or questions in the comments section below. See you in the next video.